Hey there guys, this is Sam
and Justin
at the Survival Review, and today we're going to be talking about the Peter Jackson horror comedy classic, Dead Alive. Now this is one of Peter Jackson's, earlier movies, and you can tell when you watch it, but it's also one of my favorites of his.
And it's totally different from what he went on to do.
It's
even totally different than The Frighteners.
It's even, way different from The Frighteners. It's still a horror comedy, but in a totally different way.
Yeah. In the way that it's one of the goriest movies ever made.
Yeah, it's completely off the wall, over the top, just gore.
Yeah, if you're squeamish, you're not going to want to watch this movie.
No.
Even though some of the effects might look cheap looking, a lot of them look really good.
Yeah.
And, if you don't like this kind of movies, it'll make you sick.
Definitely.
It really will.
For us, we love it.
Oh, yeah.
We eat this shit up.
We're sick bastards, so we love it.
It's our favorite stuff, but it's not for everyone.
No, it's not. Whereas we mentioned in the Frighteners review, Frighteners is a more mainstream Peter Jackson movie. This is more independent, do whatever you want Peter Jackson movie.
This is him, I think at his purest.
Yes.
This is just when he was like, I'm just going to make a ridiculous zombie movie.
Exactly.
Because I can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If he had no restrictions nowadays, he'd probably make another movie like that.
Yeah, and we wish he would.
Yeah.
Because this kind of movie is just I love.
It's insanity.
It really is. Watching it, there's so many moments where you just laugh out of how absurd what's happening is. You know?
Just from the crazy death scenes.
Yeah. And
just all the gross stuff that happens in the movie.
It really is disgusting. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I absolutely love it. I don't even know if we mentioned it's a zombie movie.
Yes.
And it's one of my favorite zombie movies of all time, probably.
I agree. It's one of the most unique zombie movies.
It is. It's not treated like any George Romero zombie movie. It's
not
way less serious, obviously.
Yes.
But
there's no social commentary in this movie.
Not in the slightest.
No. But not even that, some of the stuff it does with the zombies, it does different things with zombies.
Definitely. Basically, the movie starts out in Africa, and there's this dude from New Zealand who works for a zoo, and he wants to get this rare rat monkey from Africa that he has a permit for. Little does he know that this rat monkey is extremely dangerous, and if you get scratched or bitten by this creature, you turn into a zombie.
Yeah.
And so he's killed on his way out of Africa, but the monkey still makes its way to New Zealand. Mm-hmm.
And for some reason they still put him in the zoo, because why not?
Through a thinly, just a cage that anyone could get very close to. And it's really ridiculous, but you don't care, because the whole movie, the whole concept of the movie is absurd.
Nothing is played straight in this movie.
No, not even slightly. It continues off from there, from our character Lionel, who's this really sheltered, shy dude who's lived with his mother, and he's in his 20s. He's lived with his mother his whole life, and she is the most controlling, crazy person ever, and he just lives with it. But something happens where this girl that he meets becomes weirdly obsessed with him. It's really strange. So they go on a date to the zoo where this rat monkey is, and his mom follows him. And she happens to get bit by this monkey, and that's where it all starts.
Yeah, and after that, she slowly starts to turn into a zombie, and that helps produce more zombies, and it escalates.
Exactly. It escalates from there and just provides so many absurdly, disgusting scenes. And
what I was saying, how, the zombies are done a little bit differently. Hey, he keeps his mom, who is a zombie, in the house for, the entire movie. He doesn't kill her or anything. And you see her slowly degrade even more. Yeah. And even then, other zombies start popping up, and they have characteristics. He has a bunch of zombies just hiding in a cellar. And there's a great dinner scene where all the zombies are around, and, the priest zombie and the nurse zombie start doing it and stuff like that.
There's so many ridiculous things that you kind of question, where are they going to stop? And they just never do. It just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
It's like The Evil Dead, where it has no rules.
No.
It just does whatever.
It just does what it wants.
Yeah.
And it's awesome because
Yeah, the effects in this movie are so well done.
Yeah, they're really disgusting. They're
so believable. Like, they don't look overly fake. Sometimes they might look a little bit like...
Sometimes a little bit, but like...
Some of the stop motion with the rat at the beginning was a little...
Yeah, but I love that.
Yeah, I always love stop motion. It's just fun to watch.
Same.
So I like how it takes normal effects and just does something different with them. Because, like, a typical effect for a person getting their head cut off, you'd have the fake floor and the fake little, like, flesh that make look like their head's off. Well, in this movie, the person gets their face cut off, like, from here.
Yeah.
So the guy's head is, like, in the floor like that.
And it just looks so cool.
Yeah, and it takes effects that you know, even if you don't, not into filmmaking, you know how they do it, but it spins it on its head.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really unique thing. It just makes it really cool and really interesting to watch, because a lot of times you're just like, how'd they do that?
Yeah.
It's just nuts.
So many scenes where even when it's not like crazy effects going on, they're still really disgusting. The one that always comes to mind for me is the custard scene.
Oh, God. The custard scene. That's just...
Where she's kind of in the early stages of becoming the zombie, and she's degrading and pieces of her face are coming off.
Yes.
And she has to have dinner with these people from some like woman's group that she's trying to join. And the husband in this situation is completely oblivious to everything, and it just gets really, really gross.
Yeah, that scene doesn't even have like anything graphic in it, and it's still gross.
Exactly. There's so many just weird, wacky characters. Yeah, the uncle character is like totally insane.
Yes. The priest.
The priest is so ridiculous. Like, the priest takes just the weirdest turn in this one scene with zombies in the cemetery.
I kick ass for the Lord!
Everything is escalated to such a degree. Nothing is toned down or realistic at all. It's all just completely exaggerated.
Super exaggerated.
It's a scene where they're at the funeral home and they're like, and you see the mom trying to embalming them and stuff like that. And it's just like this crazy
embalming machine looks like this thing out of an old Frankenstein movie or something. It's ridiculous. And then like her eyes burst out.
And the guy who works at the funeral home just like pops them back in.
Yeah.
We've got to get the body to the service.
It's just so insane, and there's so many great lines in the movie too.
There really are.
Your mother ate my dog!
One of the great lines happens in one of the most iconic and best scenes in the movie, the lawnmower scene.
Yeah.
Party's over.
This is the scene that most people remember.
Yeah.
As just one of the like goriest scenes and just over the top.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first scene. I saw this scene on YouTube before I ever saw this movie, and it's what made me want to watch it.
Same here, because you showed me that scene before I saw the movie. And
it really is just fantastic.
It's nuts. It's just one guy, a bunch of zombies, and a lawnmower.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
And pretty much exactly what you would expect, but just
it's amazing.
Nuts.
It's the iconic scene of the movie.
It is. That's the one that most people remember. Yes. A lot of people I've mentioned this movie to, and they're like, "Oh, that's the one with the lawnmower scene, right?" And
and then you have the zombie baby.
Yep.
Because after the two zombies have sex, they have a baby. Yeah. Because that makes sense. And the zombie baby just is like fucked up thing. It's great.
It's like insanely crazy weird baby thing that like
and there's a great scene that from a plot standpoint doesn't make any sense, but
he takes the baby in a carriage with like razor wire around it.
He takes him to the park. And there's no real reason for him to do it, but it's just great physical comedy.
It is.
And it's hilarious.
There are scenes that just they don't make sense, but you don't care because the whole movie is so ridiculous
the whole movie,
it doesn't matter.
Again, it's in its own reality. It doesn't take place in our reality.
Not at all.
Which is one of those great things that Peter Jackson does. That he even, whereas Frighteners is more, it's definitely more grounded. Mm-hmm. It still has elements from that, and that's why we like old school Peter Jackson movies.
Definitely.
Because they just have this style and just strangeness to them that other movies don't have.
Yeah.
And this movie is that times 100.
This is like that at its peak.
Exactly. Him. Out of 10?
Out of 10. I seriously have to give this movie, I'm going to give it a 9.5.
Yeah, 9.5 as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a perfect movie. That's why I'm not giving it a 10.
It's so well done as a movie, too. Like, you have to appreciate it, even if you don't like this kind of stuff. You have to appreciate it, because it's all practical effects, because this is like the early 90s or late 80s or whatever. It's all practical effects, so you have to appreciate all the time and work that went into this stuff, because that probably took ever.
Highly recommended
Yes.
from both of us. Just super, super fun.
Yes.
And another one that I really like to watch around this time of year.
Yes, definitely.
They're not dead exactly. They're just sort of rotting.
So that's Dead Alive.
Yep, awesome, awesome movie. Next time we're going to be talking about a totally different movie. It's not related to Peter Jackson or
No.
anything. But it is a horror anthology movie. And probably the best one.
It's
ever.
my favorite.
Yeah.
And it's from one of our favorite horror directors,
Yeah.
George A. Romero.
And one of our favorite horror writers.
Stephen King.
Yeah. So, and that movie would be
Creepshow.
Creepshow. So, until then, thank you guys very much for watching.
I'll talk to you guys later.